over into my face. So yeah, hey guys. Sorry I haven't been on for a while. We're gonna go ahead and switch over to a little bit better, nicer music, something a little bit more calming and relaxing. But yeah, so we got some situations that are at hand that are pretty not good. That I kind of want to go over and kind of touch. So let's hit it strong. So first situation. Let's see if I can get the screen set up. Everything. Is the SmugAlana situation. So, she recently had done this today. Whole little thing that she did. Apparently, more news is coming out. So, at Team YouTube, please work with me and help me get this strike removed from my channel. I have no idea if I'm being mass flagged or mass reported, or if someone at your office hates me. But I want nothing more than to at least have some semblance of confidence that I show. Let's see, there's more to it. Semblance of confidence that I understand the rules, the guidelines, so that I don't feel blindsided every 3 to 4 weeks by another ridiculous warning or strike that nobody can explain. And we got a little meme that's going right here. I'm sorry, SmugAlana, but you're diagnosed with schizophrenia. Chat, is this real? Oh god, it's getting worse! And looks like she has a couple of different up boots and all that stuff, so not too bad. We got some jokes that at least she's trying to make along with it along the way. But the next thing we have here is now the strikes and warnings that I get are rarely not posted on someone else's channel that I can find, are so flippant and nonsensical that I genuinely feel like I do not have the ability to discern what is and is not acceptable under the guidelines anymore. It feels targeted. I feel like I've graduated from just being careful about what you posted to play it safe and post nothing at all because of how ridiculous some of the strikes I've dealt with over the years have been. Some examples are all applies rejected, within the last year. Nudity and sexual content. So, nudity and sexual content. An obese man with his shirt off that YouTube's AI mistakenly thought was a woman's chest. I mean, hey, I got those too. I'm on the plus side, so I feel that. Next, we have violent and graphic content. A guy fully clothed farting into a lighter. Oh my gosh! I didn't know that is against YouTube's policy of a man fighting into a lighter to probably burst out a gas of making it just do something with flame. I thought that was a joke. I guess that's against YouTube's policy. Violent or graphic content. A guy. So, violent and graphic content, again, the pufferfish meme that goes, oh! So what she's talking about is, like, there's a pufferfish meme, and someone has, like, a material, right? And they kind of, like, stick it down his throat and goes, oh, well, something like that down the line. So, really interesting how that's being played out. The next one that we have is another nudity in sexual content. Watching a video about car crashes flagged as sexual. A car crash is sexual. Did not know that. I would have to see that. No timestamp, which was promotedly rejected on the appeal. And when I asked support, they said we are not provided within that information. That's a little bit concerning because wouldn't you want to at least fix the mistake in which you had before this happened? So a little interesting parts on YouTube's end of striking those. All in all, 3 of the above examples, YouTube instantly deemed my appeal, denied my appeal, and I was forced to either make ticket after ticket for weeks to get it resolved, or I simply ate the full 3-month duration guideline warning on my channel. I want to make this crystal clear. I want to follow the rules. I want my channel to be in the good standing. I do not want to push the boundaries. I do not want to see what I can get away with. I don't want to ride the line as close as possible to what is or is not acceptable. I want to have fun, and dealing with this is getting to the point. Um, I want to have fun, and dealing with this is getting to the point of causing me actual emotional distress. Yes! So, on today's episode of Card Crash Wednesday that Alana typically does, she actually did mention this. So apparently, the stress had gotten to her to the point where she was having a bloody nose. So I don't know if anybody has experienced this personally, but I have. I've actually experienced this where I've gotten super stressed because I had to break up two friendships because of how toxic they had gotten. I legitimately had a bloody nose. Like, my head was pounding to the point I had a bloody nose because I had felt like I had done something terribly, horribly wrong, but I knew that it was immense amount of stress onto me. I was afraid to do it, but I had to do it, and I did it, and sure enough, something burst, and then spewing like a well, if you would say. Just all the again, just gushing and gushing and gushing, and it was just miserable because it was an actual bloody nose that I was like super panicking that I ended up calling my mother and explaining the whole situation. And it's like, okay, you're under a lot of stress. That's what this is. This is immense amount of stress because I'd done something what I deemed as nuclear in a way because of just how stressful the situation was and how much I was in that particular predicament. So let's have a little thing right here where it kind of just goes over. So it looks like these are some video guides that they kind of have and timestamps. So 9:24, 9 hours, 24 minutes, 53 seconds, PM, SmugAlana. Okay, so these are probably timestamps of her of talking with this and having a ticket open. SmugAlana VTuber. I was wondering what exactly was in the video that I did that was okay, so now we have this particular person named Rika. I'm afraid to say that that appeal can only be submitted once. So appeal can only be submitted once, but they're asking the question of what they had broken within the guidelines, so that way they can fix the behavior. So this is a person trying to fix a behavior and wanting to know how they can fix this particular behavior. That way they don't cause problems within the future. This is kind of actually a little bit devastating because they want to be better. And you're refusing for them to get better by only just saying, we're going to negate this. If the video has been re-evaluated, this means that the decision of our internal team is the same. So this is like a straight negate that would be tactically seen. Oh, I got a spider on my desk. Look at that. He's crawling everywhere. Oh, look at that little guy. What you doing? What you doing? Oh, come on, get out of there. Oh, okay. You want to live under there? That's totally fine. Looks like I got a spider that wants to be underneath one of my monitors. But let's get back to the situation that's at hand. Yikes, that's kind of scary. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Ooh, I'm not afraid of spiders, but I am afraid of just having a good time of trying to not have a spider crawl on me. Could be a wolf spider for all I know. Really interesting. But it's really sad to see that this appeal is happening. So SmugAlana VTuber, okay, I understand, but but it gave me no time or reasoning as to why it is. The video itself is about cars. Really interesting. Okay, I understand what you mean. The specific details about the review is also not being forwarded to us here. Sorry. Okay, so now this actually sounds like an actual person. So they have gone off of their little listing and little attack, and even they admit that they don't know what's necessarily going on because they're handling the ticket at the current moment. So this is just a regular employee that just has to deal with stuff. So Alana is going to probably respond with something. Okay, ... Well then, that would be nice to know. Oh well. Yes, I agree on that too. So they're just being either basic on the response. So either this is handling an emotional distress and they're trying to be like, okay, at least they're not being consideredly mean and they're actually being reasonable as a person and an individual. So let's further on keep going with that. I have your site document here. You may want to also submit this feedback that will go straight to our product team for further enhancement, whatever that means. And honestly, it's either it's going to be looked at or not. So supposed answers to whatever questions, even though that's not really giving her a clear justification of what's happening. You can't give me any detail at all. Did you swear too much? Did I swear too much? Did I use bad words? We'll have limited access to here to support us. We have limited access to here too as support. Uh, we are we are no given visibility. We are no given visibility on review process. So okay, so this actually sounds like a person talking because this should have been we are not given visibility on the review process. Okay, so this sounds like this is an actual person talking in real time, giving real expenses, whoever this recap person is, and basically this is a classic tactic in basic book of saying, I don't know what the entire whole situation is, but whatever it is, we'll get this taken care of. This is a classic bait and switch of, I don't know, that's up to the next person. That is not up to me. My job is only to just be collateral damage. That's what this looks like, and that's what it seems like. I know collateral damage when I see it, and this is just legal jargon that they have to go under. A little bit of misspelling because it has to sound human, but this could also be technically an AI that they're using to disguise itself as not all humans can actually see their mistakes, which could be true. But if this is an actual person, then this is a classic tactic in which they're taught of do not give them a direct answer. You can't necessarily give them a direct answer. If you do, you're making false promises at that point. And it could be really seen as bad where this would catch a case, if you will, where lawyers would get involved. Because it's like, they promised. And it's going to seem really bad at the YouTube support because it's like you're making false claims. Versus where if we just gatekeep necessarily, I wouldn't necessarily say gatekeep. Gatekeep's not the word I'm looking for. Neither upholding, but more of tactically negate at each turn, then this will help. It's just more of trying to get the person to reason with you, to be like, okay, yeah, situation does suck, but this is where we're at the current stance. So clearly, if there is a team looking at this, then hopefully they'll actually make a good look and review over this. There's going to be probably a lot of spike and a lot of talk that's happening right here. Let's move on up, though, to see what's going on, because this was posted extraordinarily recently. So I'm at the point where I sound like a broken record on stream. I constantly say verbally, out loud, to my chat, I'll have to edit that out. Okay, so this was happening because she is afraid. This is clearly a person that is afraid to be able to even make content, to post out, to actually even think that this is good. Because at this point, I can understand that how she's seeing this is scrutiny. This is scrutiny. This is a clear case-cut example of scrutiny, and she's like, all right, I feel like a minority. I feel like I'm being called out for no apparent reason. I'm not getting any justification. There's nothing that's actually helping with this, so it's seen as kind of scrutiny. And it goes to the point where it's like limiting of like, what could I do? What can I even post? At this point, it kind of ruins a person's perspective of, well, what can I make my audience like and enjoy that's not seen as terrible? And it gets to the point where a person's going to break down and being like, well, what's deemed as a good platform to even post on that point? So yeah, that's completely understandable. I'll keep going along with it. Oh, there's the spider. Looks like he's moving. I'll have to edit that out, or I can't. That can't go on YouTube. I'm more conscious of the rules than anyone I know. So to her, this is going to be isolating. This is clearly just her just feeling isolated at this point because she doesn't have someone to really necessarily talk to. A lot of the stuff in which apparently of what I understand and know is that she does a lot of her own editing. Like a lot of good streamers and YouTubers that have made a good following, a good thing for themselves, they do a lot of their own editing. They don't have necessarily a big budget yet to continuously keep supplying that of being able to have someone be paid for full time as a status of being able to edit, to be able to make this content consistent. And because she doesn't have that particular type of support yet, she is deemed having to really think about what she can and cannot do. And It's clearly affecting the mental psyche of what's going on. And yet, despite my efforts, it's borderline impossible. It feels like, at least for me, I've easily deleted over 100 combined videos and slash or clips over the last year because I thought it may break one of YouTube's obscure rules in some way. And that's still not enough. I still get warnings. I still get strikes. And in this case, I got a 7-day ban within a 90-day duration strike. 2 more, and my channel is permanently deleted. Or in this case, permanently banned, as she says. Because of violence against mosquitoes. Very questionable. Very, very questionable. I have enough stress in my life without having to deal with the every looming threat of my channel getting terminated over clips or videos that went through not only myself but 2 seasoned editors that specifically watch and check every video and short for possible guideline violations. Editors, by the way, that have years of experience and to this day still edit for other successful channels and are extremely well versed in YouTube's rules. I gotta do the point the finger again of being like, what are we doing? YouTube, what are we doing? Because that's what it feels like at this current moment. It's like, what are we doing, YouTube? Where we're kind of currently standing at, I guess, of what's going on. And this is really sad. Every single person I've consulted with who is either a creator or an editor or anyone who has any knowledge at all of YouTube and their rules has said the same thing. They must have made a mistake. So we're having a collective experience group of people coming together and saying, yes, this is a mistake. But yet nothing has been done yet. It's been radio silent, dead silent, that's been going on. So interesting on their end for that. Every single so yeah. And now you restore a video that I made a huge fuss about. A huge fuss about it on Twitter without as much of as a message saying, hey, we screwed up, sorry, after I pointed out the original clip was still available for everyone to view for 5 whole years. Well, if the shoe doesn't fit, or in this case, if the shoe does fit, oh boy, really shooting yourself in the foot there, aren't we? Figuratively as an expression. So this is basically them shooting themselves in the foot as a figurative speech of expression, of explaining that they did something incompetent. Very interesting. So apparently YouTube made a huge oopsie daisy, and they can't admit to that. What is it? Pride? Is it PR? Is it if they admit to that, then they have to realize that a lot of people are going to come out and actually say the exact same thing? Because it is going to be the exact same thing that's coming out, but still, you got to own up to your mistakes. YouTube, you got to take a hit. You made an oopsie daisy. You stepped on a thumbtack. At least apologize. Of being like, whoop, ouch, yikes, I didn't see that. I'm so sorry. Or, in this case, like stepping on a cat. Whoops. Oh no, I didn't know you were there, Fluffy. Ouch. Yikes. 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 Okay, ooh, whoa, what's this? This morning, shortly after I started my stream, YouTube suddenly unbanned my commentary of Joe Rogan clip, where I was banned because Nikki in Joe's clip said the word kink, kink, cook, clink, quink, cook, crack, crack, .com. I found out about this from my own live stream chat. You know what that smells like? A load of BS. That's what it sounds like and smells like to me. Alright, let's continue reading. Because of zero communication from YouTube. So YouTube really did an oopsie daisy. They're kind of like doing the equivalent of the BP. Hold up. We might have to actually look this one up. The BP equivalent from South Park of saying, sorry. Hold up. Hold up. Because eventually YouTube's going to have to do it. YouTube's going to have to say this. So, hold up. Need to look this one up. Need to bring it up. Because right now, YouTube's going to get in a position of having to do this. Because I think they will. I think they're going to have to. Let me pull it. Yep, so let me get that up. Let me read this over.
Anger towards the BP company grows. Their president released this statement. Hello, I'm Tony Hayward, president and CEO of BP. Our accidental drilling spill again in the Gulf is a tragedy that should have never happened. And
yeah, the BP incident that took place back in 2010 to 2000... I think it's 2010 or 2009. Terrible thing that happened in the Gulf of Mexico.
To all those affected, I want to say, we are deeply sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry. BP has taken full responsibility for cleaning up the spill in the Gulf, and in doing so, we have changed our name from Beyond Petroleum to Dependable Petroleum. DP, we no longer fuck the earth. We DP it. Public anger.
This is the situation that they're current that I can see it as. That's the situation that I see it as. I stand by it. I stand to it. That is how I see it. Oh my goodness. Now this is great. However, my channel, I still have a strike. I was still not able to upload content until the 7-day ban ended 3 hours later. Okay, yeah, because it had it at a particular time. Okay, so cool. The video that initially got me a strike was violent or graphic content, mosquito getting squished. Oh no. It's still banned by YouTube, and my channel still has a strike as a result of this. Go figure. There's a real possibility where I have to discontinue reacting to or looking at any short form clip content because it feels like YouTube is targeting me with an extreme prejudice. And she explained, this was on her stream, this is how she exactly explained this. She explained because of how it occurred and happened from the strike within from a day later or 2 days later to a video getting banned, she felt that this was like an immediate prejudice action that happened against her. I do not blame them for feeling that, and I can kind of understand that because this kind of happened with a video that I had, but it cannot be ever monetized because of a small snippet of a certain amount of song being played for a game called Alan Wake, because Alan Wake loves to use actual music that is copyrighted. I don't know if it's a total of 13 or 14 songs that they have totally copyrighted, by the way, that you would think that they would actually kind of take out. But because I didn't know that they were copyrighted, I'm like, oh, this must be a part of the game. But instead, it has a limitation of, well, you dealt with copyrighted music, so gonna have to take this down. Can never be ever monetized. Sucks for that. Thanks a lot, Alan Wake, even though it's a good game. Still gonna play it. So, yeah, I can understand the fear for that. The vast majority of warnings or strikes or community guideline violations that I get are almost always posted somewhere else on YouTube or on someone else's channel. But for some reason, for me, reacting to it is deemed unacceptable. Then I have to go through this song and dance of begging for them to look into it by complaining on Twitter for it to maybe get resolved after days or weeks. That Joe Rogan clip? I obviously tried to appeal it and was instantly denied. It took me begging them to look into it on a third party platform to even have a chance of their mistake being corrected, which is so unfair in my eyes, since most creators don't even have half of the reach I do. Had to do a little bit of dramaticness, of course, for the overtone, but you can see the level of like frustration that this person has because, again, as I stated, this is an individual that took the time, the effort, the dedication into becoming a VTuber. They wanted to see a dream, and they took the possibility. They were originally doing God knows what, and they said to themselves, I want to do this. I want to give a chance of making other people at least happy, because this means a lot to me. I want to do what they do because this seems so fun and so exciting. I want to spread joy, fun, laughter, so on to others, so that way they have the reach and capability of knowing that I did something good in this life. I'm not necessarily defending this person. I'm not defending SmugAlana. What I am stating is that this is a person that feels not ridiculed, but downright just frightened of the mere fact that they try to make people happy only for it to get shut down by the very platform that showed her the most promise that she can have of getting the reach to a lot of people out there. And to hear that she has to jump through hoop after hoop after hoop after hoop is just downright sad, because they'd been trying and trying and trying to prove that they can do good. And I can understand that a lot, where all you want to do in this world is do the good, only for it to be shut down. Now, on another particular standpoint, as a content creator, she's just doing reactions. These reactions are to made to be an exaggeration over of having fun and doing stuff, which is a great little thing that you can get into. A nice little thing of getting into is a reaction of knowing that, hey, I want to have fun. I want to show people how to have fun, or at least give them that spark of not, because we're just humans. Give them a spark. Give them something to hold on to latch on to know that they're still human. And people are sometimes dumb and they can be silly. That's the point of being a content creator in some aspects. You want to entertain, you want to inform, but you want to exaggerate that information sometimes. And you want to inform them of how they're looking at something. You want to show them that love and aspect of it. But to see her be frightened like this as a creator, it's heartbreaking. Because they're having to defend themselves. At this point, I could understand if they feel like they're in a corner and they're getting pointed at and all that stuff. All I can say is, hey, that very same finger that you're getting pointed at, their toes included, so 10 toes or whatever amount of toes they got, along with 9 digits or whatever other amount of digits they got, are pointed right back at them. Ain't good to go pointing around and making other people feeling bad, but I'll wag the finger and just be like, what are we doing now? What are we doing now? But yeah, I can understand the situation of just like panicking over something and what you want to do. So I wanted to get into at least talking about that for Alana's situation, because it was just like, damn, this is pretty tough. This is pretty rough.